that vote 69-31. That state of affairs has to be reversed. Same with African Americans, young people, and women. Thirdly, you need to have some new messengers who can put a smile and not a frown on the conservative agenda. You know, Bill Rusher, who was one of the great conservative strategists, he was at National Review, he was very close to Goldwater, very close to Reagan. I think he's retired now and lives in San Francisco, but Bill is a good friend of mine, and he once said the difference between Barry Goldwater and Ronald Reagan was they both believed the same thing, but Goldwater said it with a frown and Reagan said it with a smile. And that's definitely true. Candidates matter. I can tell you, as much as guys who do what I do look smart when we win and dumb when we lose, the thing that matters the most in politics, beyond a favorable macro-political environment, is the skills and talents and the instinctive, gut-level ability to connect with a voter or the candidate. You saw that in Massachusetts with Scott Brown. This guy was just a great candidate. When David Gergen asked him, how can you, seeking the Kennedy seat in the U.S. Senate, go to Washington and vote to kill what was Ted Kennedy's greatest ambition and aspiration? And without even batting an eye, he turned to Gergen and said, with all due respect, it's not the Kennedy seat, it's the people's seat. It doesn't belong to any family or any individual or any political party. It belongs to the people of Massachusetts. I believe he won the election that night. You just can't teach that. I think Republicans are starting to get those kind of candidates. We could debate all day long why. Maybe it's spontaneous generation, superior candidate recruitment, but you look at a guy like Bob McDonnell winning in Virginia by 18 points. You look at Marco Rubio in Florida. I mean, this guy is amazing. I was with him Friday night in Naples, not this past Friday night, but the Friday night before at a fundraiser. This is a guy who got into a race, and the day he got in, he was behind by 35 points. He was running against the incumbent governor who had $6 million. He had zero chance to win. Today, he's ahead by, depending upon which poll you look at, 18 to 32 points against the incumbent governor. Almost unheard of. And believe me, if you could meet Marco and hear him speak, even if you disagreed with him politically, you would say, what an incredible testament to the greatness of America. You would feel about him the way we all felt about Barack Obama. I didn't share Barack Obama's politics, but I have to say I was proud to live in a country where somebody could come from where he came from and rise to the highest office in the land. And that's how you feel about Marco Rubio. So that's a little bit about 10, a little bit about Obama, and then what I think are the three keys for the Republicans, which is new messengers that can put a smiling face on the agenda, a bold conservative reform agenda, and not just running against Obama's policies, and growing the pie, extending the tent poles, and practicing the politics of addition. You know, you could almost say that those are the rules for how to win for any political party at any time. That's what the Democrats did in 06 and 08. I have no doubt that by getting a new, vibrant, path-breaking personality like Obama, instead of running another Clinton, was one of the keys to Democratic success. So with that, I've probably gone on too long as it is, but let me open it up for questions, comments, criticisms, personal attacks. I've had to square off with your professor and Bob Beckel and many other very skilled folks on the Great American Panel. So, you don't need to worry about any question you might ask.
Let me throw one out just to start.
Okay.
You skipped over these people and you talked about new personalities. And when a lot of people look at the Republicans, they don't see Marco Rubio. Or, you know, Scott Brown maybe is an anomaly. They're not sure what's going on there. They see Sarah Palin, Mike Huckabee, Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, maybe. Now, none of these people are known for being real smiley, even though they do smile. You know, they're not sunny personality. I wonder what you think about the leadership at that level and whether we have to push them aside and look for other people.
So you want me to say that we should push aside some of our presidential candidates into this camera right here?
No.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be taking that bait. I think that'll be on YouTube by midnight. But look, let me. I'm kidding, obviously. Let me give a serious answer to your question. That's what primaries are for. Now, I have to say, you know, I've already admitted, you know, I was wrong about Barack. Okay, I was also wrong about 08. I thought he was making the mistake of his life when he ran against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton machine. I thought they would crush it. But in fairness, so did most other people. So, you know, all I'm saying is nobody told Kerry you can't run. He looked at it. Nobody told Hillary she couldn't run, and they shouldn't have. She was, in my view, enormously qualified. And frankly, I think she got a bum rap. I really do. Particularly some of the media coverage. Nobody told John Edwards he couldn't run. Maybe they should have. But they didn't. And they shouldn't. It's a free country. That's what makes America so great. You don't sit in a smoke-filled room and try to figure this stuff out. What you do is have all your best talent on the field. And you get out there with a stopwatch and you say, go. And you see who runs the fastest, runs the best, and is toughest under pressure. Winston Churchill famously said that statesmen are forged in the fire of campaigns. And I really believe that. A campaign is really a simulation of the pressures, the stress, the conflicting advice, the physical and emotional exhaustion of leadership. It's imperfect, but it's the best system we've ever been able to come up with as a free society for choosing our leaders. And I'll be very transparent with you about what I'm telling people in my party. I'm not going to discourage anybody from running. I want them all to run. Because I'll tell you why. The best way to build a party is to have a knockdown, drag-out primary. Because if you do that, you energize all the people in your party. The people who are not in your party look over and go, well, what's going on over there? We may want to start following that. And you don't think that the Obama-Clinton slugfest didn't help the Democrats? You better believe it helped them. They had 30 million plus people vote in those primaries. And the one thing you know as a party strategist is anybody who votes for my candidates in a primary is probably going to vote for them in a general. There are very few people, it does happen, but very few people who vote in a party's primary who don't also vote for that party's ultimate nominee in the general. There was all this talk after Obama beat Clinton that, well, you know, the women are going to be turned off because the glass ceiling didn't get shattered. And there was some thought that after McCain picked Palin, maybe women would gravitate over there. That was clearly one of the things that McCain was hoping. Didn't happen. Because if you voted for Hillary, in the end, not everyone, of course, but statistically, you voted for Obama. And that's what I want in 2008. I want Newt to run. I want Governor Palin to run. I want Governor Huckabee to run. Romney, Tim Pawlenty, Jeb Bush. Am I leaving anybody out? Everybody go. And I think they will, by the way, because I think people think there's a real vulnerability here and there's a real chance to win. Alan Keyes, sure.